Imagine facing down an apocalyptic curse and realizing there's literally no way to stop it. Today we're doing an explainer on a seriously high-stakes masterclass from the ancient Mahabharata on how to survive the unsurvivable. This isn't just some old story about mythical creatures. It's actually a super fascinating look at destiny, divine intervention, and finding those crazy hidden loopholes buried deep inside prophecies.
So let's just drop right into the absolute middle of the panic. We're starting with this haunting quote from a snake named Elapatra. Imagine the sheer terror of knowing your entire species is just marked for death. The serpents are in total despair, looking for absolutely any way out. But then, Elapatra steps up with this profound realization. He basically tells everyone, look, when fate is the thing attacking you, your only shield can be fate itself. You can't just fight cosmic destiny with brute force, right? You literally have to outmaneuver it by playing by its own rules.
Okay, so that brings us to the million-dollar question for our doomed serpents. How do you escape an unavoidable fate? Seriously, if a curse is absolute and the gods themselves have preordained your destruction, what move do you even have left? It's like the ultimate locked room mystery, but on a cosmic scale. It really highlights how we're hardwired to look for a loophole when we're backed into a corner. The snakes are completely trapped, but as we're going to see, Elapatra has been holding on to a secret that changes the whole game.
Which leads us to Section 1, the unstoppable snake sacrifice.
To get why they're panicking, you have to look at what's coming for them. The snakes are facing this terrifying threat from King Janamejaya. He's this incredibly powerful human ruler from the Pandava race, and he has unparalleled resources. Elapatra makes it crystal clear to his king, Vasuki, and the rest of the crew, fighting the sacrifice head-on, no way. It's completely impossible. The king's intent is absolute. This is basically a mass extinction event targeted specifically at the snakes. No amount of fighting, plotting, or direct confrontation is going to stop those sacrificial flames from being lit.
All right, moving on to Section 2, eavesdropping on the gods.
So how exactly does Elapatra know the way out? Well, he actually possesses the ultimate cosmic secret. He tells this terrifying story from the past, back when their own mother, Kadru, cruelly cursed her children to die. Elapatra was right there, literally crouching in fear on her lap. But because he was hiding there, he overheard something mind-blowing. He heard the sorrowing gods march right up to Brahman, the grandsire. The gods were horrified. They're like, how could you let a mother curse her own kids right in front of you? And even worse, why did you agree to it by just saying, be it so?
Now, for Section 3, Brahman's divine justice.
This perfectly breaks down Brahman's core logic. See, the gods thought he was just being cruel or apathetic, but Brahman explains, look, the snake population has multiplied way out of control. And the real issue? A lot of these snakes are terrible in form, highly poisonous, and honestly, just sinful. They're out there biting innocent creatures for absolutely no reason. So Brahman actually allowed the curse for the greater good. It's a highly targeted purge. It's specifically designed to wipe out the wicked serpents while totally ensuring that the harmless virtuous ones actually survive.
Let's get into Section 4, the loophole prophecy.
Because Brahman wants those virtuous snakes to make it, he engineers a very specific escape route. He drops this prophecy on the gods, saying salvation is going to come through a revered bloodline called the Yajavaras race. A great Rishi, which is a sage, will be born, and his name will be Jaratkaru. And pay attention to the specific traits Brahman points out here. This Rishi is going to be highly intelligent and a strict ascetic, meaning he has absolute total control over his passions. He is the ultimate chosen instrument of fate.
And here's how the timeline for Brahman's grand, multi-generational plan shakes out. It all kicks off when this highly disciplined Rishi, Jaratkaru, eventually goes seeking a bride. Next, he marries a very specific woman. From that union, year 3 brings the birth of their illustrious son, Astika. And finally, it's Astika, the prophesied savior, who is going to have the sheer energy and destiny required to just walk right up to King Janamejaya and put a dead stop to the terrifying sacrifice. That is how the virtuous snakes are going to escape the flames.
All right, our final piece of the puzzle, Section 5, the twin Jaratkaru.
Of course, the gods had one massive question for Brahman. Who exactly is the mother of this savior supposed to be? And Brahman's answer? It's this bizarre, incredibly specific condition. He says the ascetic Rishi, Jaratkaru, can only fulfill the prophecy if he marries a wife who shares his exact name. Think about how impossible that sounds. He has to go out and find a woman whose name is also Jaratkaru.
But this is exactly where fate just perfectly aligns, and Elapatra delivers his absolute masterstroke to the other snakes. He points out to King Vasuki that they've been holding the key the whole time. On the human side, you have the Rishi Jaratkaru. On the snake side, King Vasuki's own sister, whose name, miraculously, is also Jaratkaru. Brahman literally told the gods that the savior of the snakes would be born of her. The puzzle pieces were sitting right in front of them the entire time.
So, Elapatra wraps up his story with a super urgent call to action. The prophecy states that Jaratkaru, the Rishi, will eventually be roaming around actively begging for a bride. The snakes don't need to mount some impossible war against King Janamejaya. They literally just need to find this wandering Rishi. To stop the apocalypse, all they have to do is offer Vasuki's sister as a bride to him. That one single, highly specific act of an arranged marriage, that's the preordained escape hatch that activates the prophecy and saves their species.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. In this text, we're seeing a universe where divine justice creates an inescapable apocalyptic curse, but at the exact same time plants the incredibly specific generational seed of salvation right next to it. Elapatra hit the nail on the head, right? Fate was their only refuge against fate. But it really makes you wonder, if the cosmic script writes both the deadly curse and the exact loophole needed to survive it, are any of these characters ever truly making their own choices, or are they all just playing their assigned parts in an inescapable loop of destiny? Anyway, thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and I hope you found these ancient loopholes as captivating as I did.